it captures a lot of details.
Mm.
Yeah, it captures a lot of details. Person, name of the witnesses will be written and the addresses which will be signed. So going further there, it will be signed by the IO will sign it, the signature of the and it will have to have a stamp from the officer in charge of the police station. That's the OCS or the base commander.
And Bwana Wakili, you've said about name of witness, eh?
Mm-hmm.
What if someone does not have a witness? Now, what happens?
In some cases, the IO can also form part of the witness. Yeah, in the course of the trial, he can be called up and give also testimony of what he witnessed at first on the scene of the accident. Yeah. Yeah, because it's very likable that one can miss a witness. Maybe one was hit by a car and unfortunately lost conscience. You can't tell if who the witness will come forward. But it doesn't stop there, even for you to pursue a case. Now that there's no witness, it's just that the much more the facts of the case will tend to guide, and the evidence.
Bwana Wakili, even before we continue, is it a must for that abstract to have a stamp?
That stamp is very important. Yeah, I'll insist on the stamp because it's a procedure. It's formalized as a document. So I'll strongly advise for it to have a stamp, and it ought to have a stamp.
What if somebody maybe went somewhere and the stamp was not what will happen? Can it affect the case or? Yeah,
going forward, if we are keen with details, it can somehow affect the legitimacy of the abstract. Yeah, because it's something someone can just fill in and then commissions and give it to the people of authority. So it's very important for you to have a stamp. Even if the IO fills it off, he'll wait for the stamp from his senior, who is the base commander, to give it more legitimacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also we can see, let me just check there. Again, I'm coming to the IO.
Okay.
He must sign that document, the abstract, right? Yeah,
it must be signed, and also the victim has to sign somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, when you go down there, you can see there's an option where it's written signature of person or company applying for the abstract. And also, the abstract, it doesn't necessarily mean the victim as the one to apply. Also, a dependent can apply. In the event that maybe the victim was fatally wounded and he died. Yeah. So those
the next of kin can come and
the process still remains the same. Just as a victim will have gone and applied for the abstract, same way the next of kin or the dependent who wants to bring an action will make the application. Yeah.
And Bwana Wakili, just take us, paint the picture for us to understand. What are the do's and the don'ts, while feeling this accident, abstract?
The abstract, basically, you don't feel it personally. Yeah, it's filled for you by the police. Yeah, so the police will also, I'm sure, will take also a witness statement in the course. Concurrently, you'll take a witness statement from the victim. Yeah, because the victim also is a witness, even though it was part of it. He'll let a statement of claim. So from them is when he'll get much more on the details on what to feel. Yeah, basing on what he observed at the scene, if he came to the scene and he found that, and also basing on what is being mentioned to him by the victim. Yeah.
And the do's, the don'ts?
The don'ts don't pay for the abstract. don't pay for, even if it's insisted upon them, don't pay for the abstract.
But when wakili what hizi tumekuwa kilipia even to some extent, even someone alipia hata maelfu by the way.
Yeah, true. I won't feel negligence towards that point,
yes,
because it's something which occurs to the society, and we have witnessed it. If much more, if it's brought to your attention that you need to give something, it's better you bring it formally, that attention to a senior police officer.
So the abstract, it's free of charge.
It's free of charge. You see, when you're going further,
that is by law.
Even let me show where it is expressly defined. When you go further on the abstract,
Yes.
There's a memorandum point,
Yes, also.
and I could ask you to read the number 3.
The number 3.
The number 3 part of the memorandum.
Exactly, I'm there.
Yeah.
It says this: the abstract form is issued free of charge.
Exactly. That's expressly defined. Yeah, because you see, it's your right. Everyone has a right to reach his destination. And if there will be any distraction or disruption towards that end, through an accident or something, one has a right to be claimed.
Okay.
One has a right to be compensated too. Yeah.
Bwana wakili, because to some extent people are paying heavily to get this abstract.
Yeah.
They explain to us, will it matter, or will it play a very big role when it comes to compensation?
Yeah, unfortunately it will play a role, because insurance companies, they are in light that's a crucial document. Yeah, so if you are to get it on your end, you do what you have to get it, so that they can come and because that formalizes the accident claim at the end of it.
So wanakulia sasa hapo.
Yeah, because they know, actually it's known at the point of desperation, this one is claiming, and going further, their chances are high that the claim will proceed.
Okay.
Yeah, will proceed. So also the people who are issuing, I won't name them by names, they have the knowledge also of what the intricacies of what happens in the claim process, and yeah. So basically, it's like holding hostage, but insist on your right. Just like Bob Marley said, stand up and fight for your rights. It's your right. Yeah, it's your right.
That's a good one, Bwana wakili, because before tutoke hapo, sasa nimeweza kuelewa, and I'm quite sure even our viewers wameweza kuelewa the reason why this abstract, it's not really important. Hata mtu akiambiwa watoa 10,000, toa 5,000, they're willing to go to that extent, even 20 to get this,
to achieve whatever cause they are to achieve. Yeah, you see, also, like you see, so if one walks in to the advocate or the lawyer,
yes,
the lawyer must insist on that. Yeah, because those are supporting documents.
Yes,
they will come there, they will be filed too. They will be part of the file system. Yeah, so it's very important. At least also you'll have the knowledge. You'll have the knowledge on the nature of the accident going forward. Yes. So it's very important to make the first step to ask for that. So basically, maybe you can also invite the presence of a lawyer, maybe at the station.
Yes.
Yeah, to go much more and ask for you for the abstract. Yeah, in case there is some mishaps towards that end.
So that can happen.
That can happen.
Wow.
Yeah, that can happen.
And by the way, our viewers, like we told you, now we actually providing this service to you. Now you can actually contact us through 0707 86 87, and we have our lawyer here, ambao now we are fighting for your rights. Okay, na kama unaenda mahali kwa nyanyaswa and you want to start hiyo kesi upate your rights, that one we can do very well, right?
Yes, most definitely.
So guys, this is the best place to be, because wakili iko hapa, and again we are going to take your case, follow it to the end for you to get compensated. Bwana wakili,
Yes.
kuna kitu ingine apart from the abstract, nini ingine very important document?
The next important document is the P3 form.
The P3.
Yeah.
So P3 means what?
P3, P3 is a number that you download. It's a form by name that you download. Is the number itself of the form. You know, the form is, it has to be written a number. So that's the definition of the number of the form exactly by what it is. So you download, that's like the identity of the form. Yeah.
And now, because now we come to the document now. Even before we start, what are the, who fills these, documents?
So the P3 has two sections.
Yes.
The first section is written by, is filled by the police in charge of the investigation, the IO. Yeah, is the one still to handle the filling of the first section, because it'll give us a summary of the case, some particulars of the victim. Yeah, and then he'll give a request to a medical officer who has to fill the second part of the P3. Now to assess the injuries, how are they? So it's a request from the police officer requesting the medical officer to ascertain the nature and extent of one's injury. Yeah, most probably. Yeah. So it's given through. We can request it to a government doctor, much more in criminal cases. Yeah, and the doctor can be even a dentist. It can be anyone who has a medical knowledge and is certified to give that.
Bwana wakili, hii document vitu kama gani zinafiliwa pale ndani? What are some, the important, crucial information that needs to be,
The crucial info, it will be, there's a part that is filled, the part that is filled by the medical officer. It will give a description, physical description of the victim.
Yes.
By assessment of what he has seen. If there was a medical intervention before, he can also hand over that medical report to the doctor so that they can try to medically balance and see what ought to be by the physical injuries claims. So you can see also from the P3. I don't know if the viewers have a chance. We have
yes, actually, yeah, right now it's live.
It's live. Yeah. So from the P3, you can see it is divided in sections. It's divided in sections.
Yes.
That's about there. To be completed by the police officer requesting examination. Yeah, you can see from there it's written from whom, who is the police officer. So police officer, they were addressed to a specific hospital or doctor. Yeah, for the examination of the victim. So the victim is described by name and by age and by address and time of the alleged offense which was occasioned to him. Yeah, so you'll sign at the end of it. Also it need a signature and a stamp. Yeah, so and a stamp of authority.
So bwana wakili, kwa hiyo the P3 now, right?
Yeah.
Does it also include the cost of treatment that you've actually incurred, you as a...
No. The intentions of the P3 is to give an appraisal of the level of injuries. It tends to... It's strictly, I could say strictly, basing on your level of injuries. There's no cost. It doesn't identify any cost. It doesn't define any cost. That is very separate from your medical reports. The medical reports that you took outside the prism of the P3, yeah, those are the ones which will attach the cost, the receipts and everything. So the doctor is just giving an assessment by his physical, with the physical attributes of the victim who has come to him. So you'll have to physically be present. so that when it's assessed to you, you can see like there on the section, like if I could take you to the section B
Yes.
of the P3, where it's written to be completed in all cases of assault. Yeah, the first detail is written head and neck. So the doctor will write a report basing on observation of what he has seen of the victim at present at that time, of the attributes between of the head and through the neck, going thorax and abdomen. He'll fill a detail, upper limbs to lower limbs. You can see.
So basically, Bwana Wakili, that means kama umevunjika mahali, you know, that will have to be, you know, included on the P3 form.
Yeah, it will be included. Like I said, also, you can also, additionally, you can bring your medical reports to the doctor also for him to assess somehow and verify. You know, it's a verification. Yeah, you have to verify that indeed this victim suffered physical harm. Yeah, or physical injuries.
And this P3, you know, to get it, is it free or I'll have to pay?
The P3 is free of charge too. Like like just indicated at the tail end of the document itself.
Yes.
It's expressly defined. This P3 form is free of charge.
Now, Bwana Wakili, you know, for me to, you know, file an official, you know, case kwenye court, and let's, for example, you know, I broke my, you know, my leg, I broke my arm. Do I need to carry the scans to the court, or no? What happens?
That's for your advocate or the lawyer to advise you, because it's very important. They are also supporting documents. Those are medical reports, and they will be eventually be filed within the courts of law. Yeah, so all the details is very important. Even on the claim of special damages, those are what we call what can be quantified. They can be put into sum. If I have a medical receipt, I can know how much you used it for a certain level of injury. You know, injuries are assessed on the nature and the extent. If it's a broken bone, to what? Is it a fracture or is it a wholly broken bone? You see, the nature is it's broken, yeah. But what level of it is broken? Is it broken twice? Two parts of the same leg? Yeah, so nature, so basically, those medical reports are usually very important. But in the course of the trial too, if it will be through an insurance, it will reach a point where also they will be submitted to the doctor of the insurance, also to verify the injuries at the end of it. Yeah. So medical, they are hand in glove. The medical reports and the home, because what you're claiming basically is more physical of nature. So basically the medical reports, yeah, come at hand, very importantly. Those are the documents you need to submit to the lawyer then, so that he can file.
Okay.
He can file the case, yeah. It forms part of the documents.
So before now we go not to the now filing officially. What are the do's and the don'ts, you know, while, you know, am I supposed to, you know, am I allowed to confirm every detail, you know, which has been, you know, written on the P3?
No, if basically the P3 will be written in a medical language that maybe a layman won't be much more oblivious to, yeah, or cognizant to. So basically, so long as it's, yeah, you have a chance to look and see, is it the right, is it written rightly? Do they really reflect my injuries in the true nature of my injuries? Yeah, you have that right to see, and yeah, but you know, at the end of it, that's an expert opinion that is seeking. Yeah, it's an expert opinion that is being sought towards that end. Yeah, even in the part of your trial, the doctor who examined you on the onset of the accident, there's a possibility can be called to trial and give the testimony. What is so? Yeah, because what is being paid is the physical injuries, and it's very important for them to be verified extensively, if indeed it happened towards that end. Because you know, the court cannot be compensating maybe an injury you found it not to matters which not pertain the accident. Yeah, it can be, it was an, an old injury. You know, people can be malicious too. So to safeguard that,
Yes.
yeah, it's basically passes through the process of verification extensively.
Wakili, someone by the name Peter is asking. No, the question actually, you know, come back again. Is Peter is asking, Dan, ebuliza bwana wakili, what if, you know, the police is demanding, I know I pay for the abstract. What am I supposed to do? Because, you know, if he demands I pay to get it, what happens? Can I, you know, can I take action against the officer?
Yeah, you need to be, because I don't think they demand it outrightly by demand or by force. Even if they'll be demanding, it will be a slow demand. Yeah, it will be you go, come back, go, come. The delayed taxes.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
but yeah, because he also knows that it's not true. But because since it's importantly and it cannot be obtained anywhere else other than the police authority, it's better we just make a follow-up with the authority itself. Yeah, with the authority, the chain of command. Going up here, we can write letters requesting for one, even if one comes to us as for the work that we do professional. We can write a professional demand letter, asking for an action of the same to be issued. You know, things like that. It's very important.
Okay. Mercy is asking, Bona lawyer, let's say one form is stamped and the other one is not stamped. Can it affect the case?
It can affect the case. You know, when you are also, it's a trial basis. If it comes on trial,
yes,
and it's keen, you know, stickler for details. It's better you request for that thing to be stamped, because yeah, just that's why you have mistrials. Just on a small technicality, and technicality doesn't have to be very big for it to form what a technicality can be. So someone who's keen basically might try and bring it up and attack the legitimacy of that form. Yeah, on that form, basing on just that. You can say maybe you filled it yourself, then you brought it to us. Where is the action that says, yeah. So signatures, those assignments, they're very important. There's a reason why they are there. There's a reason why they are there. Yeah.
No, our followers know 10 imefika ambapo sasa now we have the P3, you have the abstract now. What next now? Amnaje bwana wakili. So hizi documents mimi niko nazo kama dana.
Yeah.
Na nimefika kwenye ofisi. What next?
So those
these are very interesting, you know.
Yeah, those documents also make the work of the lawyer very easy. From there now we can have material knowledge of the happenings of the accident. He can have particulars of identities. He can have the policy numbers. He can know I'm dealing with such and such insurance, such and such individual, ABCD. So now that you have that, and I'm sure basically if there was an injury, like I said, first and foremost, seek medical intervention. I'm expecting also the medical report will come even before even this abstract, and for welfare sake.
Yes.
For welfare sake. It's my expectation that the documents also will be accompanied by a medical report. Somewhat, the first sought medical intervention, the one that I usually insist much more, because at the end we need your welfare more before the claim that comes towards it. Yeah, you need to be upright, you need to be sound medically and mentally and all aspects of physicality.
Okay.
Yeah. So now that you have obtained those two documents, duly filled and well signed and stamped, you can visit your advocate and lawyer in addition to the medical reports. Then you can now discuss the matters in terms of fees of lodging and filing the case now to a court system. Yeah. So from there are documents which the lawyer will draft and file later. Now that's up to the lawyer. Now after you have reached an understanding that indeed I need my case to be to be brought to books. I need my case to be brought through the system. Yeah. There are particular draftings that the advocate or lawyer will do. We'll write additionally and file also with the supporting documents. The supporting documents now becomes the abstract. Now is the way your case will be written well. He can write a statement of claim. The lawyer can write a plaint, affidavits. They have formal documents which need to be drafted and filed, and the abstract, the medical report, and the P3 now come as supporting documents. Now the case has a legitimacy. It's formalized, and the course of action is being sought.
So
on that end, that's where you discuss with your lawyer the legal fees, what entails to the case. Yeah, money matters. Now you talk to the lawyer, but it has to be modest. Yeah, it varies. People usually tend to point a finger to the lawyers and everything, basically much more on the overcharge. But it's also an ethical offense for the lawyer to undercharge. Yeah, it doesn't sit right with him also or her if he undercharges the services for a client.
So, Bonawakili, you've actually talked about the victim and the lawyer agreeing.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Just like any other business, and an agreement based on trust, or it's written on write down, agreed on affordability, because we are very cognizant for the fact that people have different means. Yeah, an accident is nothing by choice, and it cuts across on different spectrums of the society, basically. So what you agree, you need to agree with your lawyer on the onset of the case, the structure of payment that will be good. It not necessarily has to clear everything at that point. Yeah, that's where the deposits sits. You can, just something. Scribble down the instruction notes, because you see there's also disbursement fee. The disbursement fee will cater for facilitation of the case. The case has to be filed. Also filing, there are charges which are accompanied to filing of each and particular document that you file towards that end. There's that communication that you make to the other end. It also needs to be factored. That paper that is drafted upon also has to be factored. That's fee which facilitates. But any good thing, Mr. Dedel, I tend to believe any achievement or any success has to be put in some altar of sacrifice. And sacrifice can be time, sacrifice can be also some monetary sacrifices too. Yeah. As much as it's your right to be claimed and compensated, it's also for you to make an effort somehow to facilitate for the fulfillment of that right through justice. Yeah. If the costs were free also, I'm sure also the other parties could be giving a free substance. But that's why I said it's about the agreement. Yeah.
Okay.
Modestly, you agree with your lawyer at the end, because it's a case which will take time. Yeah. And after that, on the onset of the case, when the case has proceeded, more communications, you'll just be briefed. You as a client. It's for you to sit down and let your advocate, your lawyer, do the work for you.
Okay.
Yeah, professionally.
And so our viewers, we've said, we launched this service last week, and we have our lawyer here who actually will be taking us, step by step. And again, kama uko pale and you've been, involved in a crash or an accident and you want compensation, guys, now, kujeni, we're going to help you get justice. Sure. Because on our third episode, else now we take our viewers, when we talk about, filing, what do we mean? Unajua, mnanga kufungua kesi, there's a time you normally guys, mnatumia term gani? File. And your case ianze officially.
Yeah.
So even kusema nini na, I think that will do it on our episode. Your viewers of Patrol continuation.
True.
No, last time we talked about, there's a court which deals with, serious, injuries and a serious and minor. What did you mean by that?
There are two two courts, sets of courts. Yeah, there's one which is indicted very recently, the small claims court. Also, personal injuries can be brought towards that end.
Yes.
Yeah, but you see, it all depends on the level and the nature and the extent of the injuries. Yeah, yeah. So we are looking at if the compensation sit within the compound of 1 million and above, or 1 million and below. Yeah, things like I'll just mention on the few. I'm sure the next segments will be able to take it through.
Yes.
But you see something, injuries like blindness. That's an extensive injury, basically. Death, that's an extensive injury. Because, yeah. So basically, and that's why you need a lawyer to at least to have an appraisal of those injuries. Then he can advise you basically on what to claim and which court to file. Yeah,
Okay.
so you don't file on the wrong court, which lacks the competent jurisdiction to hear that case towards that end. You know, you can, yeah, by the level of the injuries, is it, how extensive is the damage of the injuries? You know, there's also injuries which leads to disablement, incapacity, handicapness, yeah. So basically, it's the level of injuries is which will inform or guide on which court to be filed upon the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Bonogili, because you know we are coming to the end of the program.
Sure.
What are your parting shots? You know, today, because you know this. You know, actually, people are really appreciating this show because they're saying, you know, they're opening their their eyes, you're opening their mind, how they used to think about these things, and people, someone is saying, I used to be ignorant when jemo, but now I'm wiser. I mean, understand. So napata watu wengi sana hawajui the steps to take, what to do, So Bwana Wakili, what are your parting shots?
Our parting shots are, now that we have mentioned the two important documents which formalize an accident, insist on it, and after that, don't be afraid to seek the services of a lawyer. The lawyer will be in very, in Kenya we have an acquisitorial system. That means that we have two parties and one adjudication who hears and determines the case. It's not part of that adjudication party to investigate on the details of the case. So basically, a decision is made basing on the facts and evidence that is brought unto him or her as a judge or somebody of authority or legal authority. So basically, when you seek the services of a lawyer, he'll be more comprehensively to guide you better, to know for your rights and your interests, because a court does. We were not only seeking for compensation, we are also seeking for declaration that your rights was abused. That's a very important fact for the court to declare that indeed there was an infringement of your rights. Yeah. Then that wording, that order then can support an order for compensation going further. Those are the things that we seek from the court. Yeah. And also from that, I will strongly advise you seek the service, even for alternative dispute resolution. Just invite a lawyer who will hear your interests at heart, because like I said also, it's not only injuries that are being pleaded for. There's also pain and suffering, which has to be quantified and paid somehow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really interesting, Bwana
Pain and
Wakili.
suffering. I'm sure going forward in our subsequent segments, we'll discuss that extensively. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So, Bwana Wakili, asante sana for finding
Shukran
time
kabisa.
to come to our studio, and shedding light on this matter.
No.
And by the viewers, every Monday ni siku ya Bwana Wakili, from that is from saa 7 to saa 8. And every Wednesday it's about car, and every Friday it's about road safety. So Bwana Wakili, tumeshukuru sana.
Pleasure is all mine.
So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. So next, our third episode, it's all about filing now. because wakili anakuambianga tunataka kufight sasa kesi ianze. Hiyo filing, what does it mean? No, it contains what? Thanks for watching. See you next week, same time, same place. Good afternoon. My name is Daniel.